Welcome to CEO Insights Asia Executive Series, Principles of Scaling. Welcome to CEO Insights Asia Executive Series, Principles of Scaling. Is the strongest enterprise are those that constantly evolve. It's no longer the game of how big you are, but now the game is how big your ecosystem is.
Now, but I think this really speaks volume why we're attracted to hang out with one another. Like for example, in CEO Insights Asia, I really like spending time there because I'm surrounded with like-minded people. So,
All right, all right. Good morning, everyone. Magandang umaga po. It's a Friday morning. Welcome to CEO Insights Asia Executive Series Principles of Scaling. Ako po si Roel Valverde, founder and CEO of GApp Digital Marketing Solutions. At para po sa topic natin today, getting synergies. Kung saan the key objective at the end of this session is you will be able to install three organizational capabilities. Nabubulol-bulol pa. Ayan. Yan. Yeah. Just yeah. All right. Ayan. For today's topic po, just a quick reminder why we do this every Friday at 10 a.m. is we want to install DNA principle that scales organizations. So sa ating mga participants sa Zoom, which is already 8,000, 9,000. At sa Facebook naman, nasa 3,000 yata yan kanina pagtingin ko. What we want to accomplish is that we want you to gain or get one insight, even at least one insight that you can immediately apply and execute in your organization, in your day-to-day operations. That's the reason why we do this every Friday at 10 a.m. Yeah. So the theme of this month is execution, and the focus is purpose. Principles, practices, and people. So, yeah, quick overview lang kung ano yung mga napag-usapan natin these past weeks. Yeah, getting to work, week 1. Week 2, getting started. Week 3, getting synergies. Week 4, getting shit done. Ayan. Just a few announcements. Ayan. Circle meetings happens every Tuesday at 11 a.m. All right. Where we have intensive CEOs, leadership trainings, and we share business practices and insights. And yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris, the CEO and founder of Morningstar Network Corp. And I'm here to invite you in the CEO Insights Asia circle meetings happening every Tuesdays at 11 a.m. I want you to hear about the 3 things why it's very beneficial and important for you to attend the circle meetings. Number 1 is the network. Here in CEO Insights Asia, I was able to meet a couple of suppliers and also distributors that I was able to make partnerships with to distribute my products. So it's good to network here and you'll meet a lot of good people that may be beneficial for your business. Number 2 is getting good insights. So here in the circle meetings, we share about ideas, business practices, and even like the know-hows or the techniques and strategies that you can apply in your business. So it's really good to get fresh perspectives from fellow CEOs. There are many things that I thought of just by listening to their sharings and that I was able to apply in my day-to-day organization, day-to-day operation. The third one is my favorite, and it is the biggest factor why I decided to join CEO Insights Asia in the circle meetings. It is because through joining here, you'll be part of a big movement that will change the business landscapes in the Philippines. Here, we infuse ideas that build lasting companies. So imagine if there's 100 of us, 200 of us, or even more that are applying the practices, the insights that we're learning here. It will make tremendous changes in the business landscape here that will eventually lead us to better business practices, better growth, faster execution. So I hope you consider really joining the circle meetings. You may click on the sign up link that will be displayed together with this video, and I hope to see you there.
Alright, wala daw akong video kanina. Pasensya naman. Ano nangyari kaya? Na-disable kanina. Ayun, anyways, additional announcement po. Ayan, we have new sign-ups, and for those new sign-ups, we have a briefing which happened yesterday. And these are the CEOs or faculties na nag-facilitate itong ating briefing. Alright, this is Sir Frank of the Mercs, Miss Mel of Gramworth, and Sir Stephen of Nature Pro. Ayan. So, ayan, wag na natin patagalin, ano? Without further ado, ito na ang ating pinakapogi, one of the founders and executive advisor, CEO Whisperer, Mr. Florentino A. Hernando.
Alright, good morning everyone. Ang aga-aga. Anyway, welcome to CEO Insights Asia Executive Series. So we'll talk about getting synergies. Thank you, Ruel, for being our host. At sa 11,000 na nandito ngayon, maraming salamat for joining us. Kahit nagtatampo ako sa inyo, nakilala niyo na ako last Friday, pero hindi pa rin kayo jumo-join sa Zoom. Bayan! Shout out naman dyan sa mga nanonood sa Facebook Live. Join na kayo sa amin. So in the event, by the way, I want to re-emphasize yung ating circles that happen every Tuesday at 11 a.m. In the event na hindi natin mapanood ito ngayon, you can watch this sa Facebook Live, yung replay sa YouTube natin, sa Spotify, sa may Google pa tayo. But the problem kasi sa circles, sabi nga ni Miss Mel, walang replay yon. So we want you to be there to join us, alright? So, wag na nating patagalin. Sabi nga nila, dali. At napainom ako ng 2 fish oil kaagad eh. Umpisa pa lang, di ba? Kagabi pa lang, ginagawa ko na to, na-high blood na ako. Lalo eh. Anyway, moving on. Ayan. So, once again, my name is Florentino A. Hernando, or they call me Fa. I'm one of the founders and the executive advisor of CEOInsight Asia. And our purpose here in this ecosystem is infusing ideas that build lasting companies. We want our organizations or our companies to become something that we can transfer to our children and to our children's children and to the next generation. Kaya tayo nandito. We're here to learn how to do that. Okay, so sabi ni Chris, type yes if naintindihan nyo daw yung mga sinabi niya doon sa kanyang video, The K-Dragon. Ayan. Isang shoutout pa kay Jerome na nandito ngayon. Nagbebenta daw siya ng fish oil. O yan, sarapin lag na kita. Diba? Kasi medyo mainit itong topic natin for this month eh. When we had that CEO meetup last Friday, which I'll share something about that in a few minutes, nagkaroon ng ang laging sinasabi sa akin ng mga nakakausap ko is when I asked them, anong feedback ditong nung napanood mo? Sabi na, sir, nasaktan ako. Mapanakit itong episodes na pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, and we're just on our 3rd week. Ika nga, papunta pa lang tayo sa most exciting part. Okay, agendas na pag-uusapan natin in the coming hour is, ayan, ilang minutes pa ba ako? I have, there. So first, we'll do a conversation starter. Nandito na ba si Jerome at saka si Love? Kasi sinabi kong sila ang unang-una kong tatanungin. Kung wala rito, mukhang sasaluhin tayo ni Jobs at ni Chris. Okay, so conversation starter muna tayo. We'll do a very quick recap kasi that serves as a platform ng pag-uusapan natin in the following hour. We'll define what synergy means. We'll talk some facts and figures. we'll talk about the telltale signs. Paano mo ba malalaman pag misalignment, di ba? O napanood niyo yung misalignment kanina, di ba? Exhibit A. Ayan. So ano ba ang cause ng misalignment? And then we'll get practical. Okay, so ready na ba kayo? Please type, I'm ready. O yung iba naman, hindi, para maiba, type nyo, high blood na ako. Yan, if you are excited to talk about the topic for today. Ayan, wala namang direct message. May mga nagdi-direct message to everyone, wag sa akin lang. Ayan, sige. Alright, okay. So I'm not sure if Love is here. So she's not here. Wala rin dito si si Jerome. Jerome, you're here? Not here? Okay, so wala siya. So sasagutin tayo ni Jobs. Jobs, sa tingin mo, ano ang cause ng and effect ng misalignment sa isang organization? Yan. Sige, sir. Wala si Jobs. Jobs, adyan ka? Wala. Okay, wala si Jobs. So, Ma'am Chris, ang always default.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, cause and effect. Napasubo ako
Oo.
Cause ng misalignment is, I think for me, miscommunication.
Yan.
So, kulang sa pagre-relay what your intention is or what is the expected outcome.
Oo.
Yan siguro yung cause. And the effect is chaos. Yan na lang,
Chaos!
one word, chaos. I cannot think of any better word Chaos na yung pinakasapul yan. So, those are the cause and effect.
Sige. So, hindi si Jobs tong Korean. Si Edel ba to? Birthday niyan kahapon. Happy birthday, Edelwise. Kaibigang also natin sa Star Asia Mini Mart. Ayan.
Si Miss Oda yan.
Si Ma'am Oda pa.
Ay, sorry.
Madaya. Sige, ayan. Sige. So that's the cause and effect of misalignment, di ba? The cause is miscommunication. The effect is chaos. Ayan. Sige, so proceed na tayo. Okay? We'll talk about what the cause of misalignment is and what are the effects later. But for now, let's do a quick recap. So again, going back, execution. What is execution? It's a discipline of doing exactly what must be done at the exact quantity and time committed, whether one feels like it or not. Diba? It's a habit. It's a discipline that we are all about doing exactly. Diba? Connected, no? Execution, excellence, it's all about being exacting. Exact quantity and time committed. Whether we feel like it or not. So whether feel na may sipon tayo, magsasubmit tayo ng video. Wala rito. Kilala niya kung sino siya. Ayan. Ayun na, papasok na. Sige, pakipapasukin natin itong kaibigan nating oso. Ayan, sayang, hindi na narinig yan. Anyway, so it's all about when I committed to do something, like I say, bibigyan ko si Ruel ng 5 bananas later at 5 p.m., I'm not gonna give him 4.5 at 5 p.m. or 4 3/4, diba, at 5 p.m. And I'm not gonna give him 10 at 6 p.m. No, I said I'm gonna give him 5, then I'm gonna give him 5. Diba? That's the, kahit may sipon ako, diba, o may ubo ko, o ayaw kong payagan ng boyfriend ko. Diba? Mga ganon. Diba? It is something that we commit. So that's execution, right? It's in simplest terms, it's the habit of getting shit done. No excuses. No BS, no drama, no nothing, no nonsense. If we said we're going to do something, we're going to do it. Plain and simple. Basic lang naman yan. It's something so basic. And a funny thing is, maybe the reason why many people overlook this is basic kasi. Diba? Well, anyway, moving on, right? So what execution is not? Let's be clear on this one. Execution is not, number one, intention. Diba? We talked about the road to hell is paved with good intention. And I'm gonna make this as a case study na rin, no? We're talking about CEOs here. I can count on how many CEOs intended to join the CEO circles. Keril, paki-chat naman yung sign-up link. Kasi we have 71 who signed up sa CEO circles natin who intend to join. I cannot tell you how many showed up. Diba? So good intentions don't count. Really, parang sa akin, we're CEOs. But when we say we're going to do something, we do something. It's hindi mo na nga kailangan maging CEO, just basic. Hindi na nga pwede rin sabihin, Professionalism is just basic human decency. Di ba? When you say you're gonna do something, then do something. If not, then don't. I mean, no problem with that, di ba? So, execution is not intention. High blood nyo si BK eh. Ayan. Di ba? Kung high blood din si BK. Ayan. So, when good intentions don't count, it's plain and simple. Di ba? I posted last year and I shared it again this year. Di ba? Bad execution made with good intention is still bad execution. Plain and simple. Hindi ako high blood. Alam mo yun. Medyo kumakalma na ako. Ayan. So good intentions don't count. Next is execution is not decision. Many decided to join the circle. Diba? Nakakatawa nga kasi when I text all of them because that's my number. I message them na we're going to do this. We're going to do circles. Classic example lang to ha. And then confirm if you're going to attend. I'll send you the link. May mga nagko-confirm. Tapos hindi na just show up, no. And I'm the reason why I'm passionate, not high blood. I'm passionate about this is I got called out. I got called out during our meeting. If you saw what happened nung Wednesday, was it Wednesday? We had an emergency meeting because they're saying we're CEOs here, diba? If you say some people will join us, diba? Huwag niyo naman sayangin yung oras namin. And ako, I got hit, diba, by that. It's on me. Because I asked them to lead circles and I tell them na maraming magjo-join or may magjo-join sa inyo and then they don't show up. It's on me. So I got called out. So ibabalik ko sa atin lahat dito. It's for all of us, okay? It's for all of us. Na when we say something is not a decision, just because we decided to do something doesn't automatically mean it happens. Okay? And last but not the least, it's not an action. Just because we're doing something doesn't mean we're productive. Execution is not action. Okay? Execution's results. Plain and simple. Ayan. Sobrang intense ba? I warned you, di ba? First episode pa lang. This will be an intensive conversation. And that's one of the feedback we got when I was sharing this. Sabi nga nung mga tao dun sa circle, how do you feel about it? Kasi I said it's a different it feels different with this series. And they said, well, sir, it's a call out eh. It's a call out. It's a call out of us raising our standards and not lowering our expectations. Diba? And that's what we want. We're catalyzing change in the business landscape. And for us to do that, we need to raise our standards, not lower our expectations. Yes? So far, so good. Andiyan pa ba kayo? Galit na ba kayo sa akin? So, pakisabi dyan, hindi ako galit. Pakichat naman para alam kong bati-bati pa rin tayo. Ayan, hindi kami parking space. Ayan, hindi ako galit. Salamat, Jack. Ayan, welcome. Okay. Alright, so, why execution breaks down? Bakit nagkakaroon ng breakdown in execution? Because we're human beings, plain and simple. We're not perfect. Diba? We will make mistakes. The challenge is dapat hindi na nauulit yun. That's the idea. Diba? But why execution breaks down? There are three things, no? Four rather. Number one, hindi malinaw yung goal. Kaya nagkakaroon ng breakdown in execution in the organization or in personal lives because hindi malinaw yung goal. Next, walang passion for the goal. Bakit hindi malinaw? Either wala, sobrang dami, pabago-bago, or hindi nako-communicate maigi. Kaya hindi malinaw yung goal. The second is there's no passion. Kasi how can you create passion if there was no conversation? I didn't have my fingerprint on what we're trying to accomplish as an organization. Diba? Or parang hindi to dictatorship. Ito sinabi ko, gawin niyo yan. There's no ownership. Without ownership, there's no passion for the goal. That's why execution breaks down. The third is there's no time for the goal. Nauuna yung urgent over the important. And this is a very something, a pet peeve of mine. Kasi pag may urgent, ibig sabihin hindi na plano. And it ticks me off, in the wrong way if biglang may urgent, I mean, I get it na hindi siya na plano, pero mabilisan yung galaw. Pero kung lagi na lang urgent, firefighting, parang may problem na tayo, no? If ay nagawa mo na ba to? Ay nagawa mo ba yan? Ay nakalimutan ko to, ay nakalimutan mo yan. So there's problem with that. And last but not the least, no idea. I love the goal, I understand the goal. I want to do something to accomplish the goal, but I have no idea what I need to do to achieve the goal. So those are the main reasons why execution breaks down. Okay? So in short, confusion is the enemy of execution. Okay? And usually as CEOs, okay, if hindi natin alam kung anong gusto natin mangyari sa buhay natin, huwag tayong magtaka if the people that we operate with or the work with, lutang din. Yes? So that's the key, no? Kaya tayo tinawag na Chief Executive Officer because we are the execution officer of the organization. So that's the recap. Now, let's talk about the responses. Ano ba mga responses pag nagkakaroon ng breakdown? Tatlo yan, no? First one is the wrong way to do it is to try and try again. Okay? What's the definition of insanity? When you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting different results. That's insanity. Why? Why do I expect different results kung yun ang ginagawa ko? So make more effort. The second, the fastest way to lose a job when you're working with me is make excuses. Diba? It's not gonna fly, And anyway, I had this conversation. I remember a conversation that I had with the CEO. Sabi niya, why? And I posted this in my Facebook page if you're following me. No? Sabi niya, why are you being a pain in the ass? No, he was smiling and he was half joking because I'm really annoying, And I smiled back. So sabi ko, well, if you've already lost millions because of someone else's, not mine, someone else's incompetence, then you will see bakit, di ba? I'm very hard when it comes to execution. And I smiled back. Diba? But, I wasn't joking. Kasi ganun eh. So anyway, we can't accomplish, we can't operate at this level if dito pa lang sa baba, medyo sloppy ng execution natin. We can't reach the millions and the billions if in the thousands, diba, sloppy execution. Pwede na yan. Hamo na. Let it slide. Anyway, so the third one is yan. Diba? We embrace it and we own it. No excuses. No BS. Diba? No drama. Iwasan ang panonood ng K-drama. Huwag ganon. Diba? Wag masyadong karirin. Okay lang manood. Huwag naman isabuhay. Diba? Na kung ano-ano mga ginagamit na dialogue. You own it. I made a mistake. I own it. I'll fix it. Kasi we can't solve a problem if hindi tayo may problema. Kaya laging nasa labas. Diba? Laging sila. Laging siya. We can fix there. It's not our problem. They're the problem natin. Yes? Okay, di ba? So far, so good. Bati tayo Hindi ako galit sa mga nanonood. Welcome kayo rito. But again, if you want to feel better as a leader, simply want to feel better, well, I'm warning you, stay away from CEOInsight Asia. You won't be happy having us around. But if you want to be better, you know how to join. Yan. Sige. So, I still have time. Okay. 10, 20. Okay, so let's define synergy. Slow down na ako. Okay. Let's define synergy. What is synergy? Sorry, don't love natin ang isa't isa, okay? So, synergy is the interaction or cooperation of two or more organizations, substances, or other agents to produce a combined effect greater than the sum of their separate effects. So, ayan. So, it's basically a mouthful. Highlight ko na lang yung mga important words yan. So, interaction. There are two or more substances or organizations that work together in cooperation. That leads to yung combination na yun, greater result than the individual sum of their own activity. Ayan. So yan, yun. So it's like this, no? You have a star player who can produce, let's say, salesperson who can produce 100,000 pesos. And then you have another star player who can produce another 100,000 pesos. And pinagsama mo sila, without synergy, they will get 200,000. But if there's synergy between the two, that's 1 million at the least. Because the math works differently when it comes to the human side of the enterprise. The math works differently. When you're working with the right people, 1 + 1 = 15. Yan. So we'll talk about that. Now, here's the key. Okay? Here's the secret. The secret to unlocking synergy. What is the secret? It starts with the letter A. Tulungan nyo ako, paki-chat para may interaction tayo. Dun sa nasa Facebook, wag nyong i-chat, join kayo dito. Ayan. Yes! Diba? Alam ni BK kasi we're informally engaged Kaya alam niya to. Diba? So, again, we should be thankful for MStar, for Grammarth, for Seller Sub, because you're getting this for free. They have to, we're formally engaged Kaya alam nila to. So the key to unlocking synergy is alignment. Yan kay WeTrade. No? So there. Okay? So the key to unlocking synergy is alignment. So some facts and figures muna tayo. Okay? On performance about alignment. So sabi dito, aligned companies churn 36 fewer customers each year. Less customer, what do you call this? Called customer attrition. 36%. Diba? You get to retain that. And that means more money for us. Diba? So pag align ng company, we don't have a very high customer attrition. Ayan, di ba? Na-call out. Joy, salamat. Medyo mainit. Sorry na. Love ko kayo lahat. Okay, so next. Aligned companies close 38% more. So aside from the retention of 36%, there's more. Di ba? 38% more sales proposals. Closing of that, di ba? So imagine you're selling 100, let's say $1 million a month of sales. You get 380,000% more. 380,000 pesos more. Diba? Pagka you are aligned as a company, aside from the retention part to, ha? Diba? Yan. Highly aligned companies grow revenue 58% faster and 72% more profitable when there's alignment. Diba? When it comes to their misaligned counterparts. Yan. Okay, so aligning sales and marketing, eto, maganda to. Kasi most of the time, si sales at saka si marketing, di ba, they're supposed to work together, but some companies, they're not working, they're not aligned. But if they are aligned, it can result to 209% growth. I don't know about you, but I mean, kung i-align ko lang tong dalawang to para mag-grow ko ng 209% better, I mean, di ba? Pag-usapan na natin yan. Let's make it happen. This is according to Marketo. So on reality, here's the reality. 22% of employees don't understand their company's values. So kung may 10 tayong employees, yung dalawa ron hindi alam kung ano ba ginagawa dito ng kumpanyang to. Why does this company exist? Yan. Ano ba ang values? What's the culture? Ayan, yes, yung Zoom para sa strong heart din. Sorry na. Medyo intense. Okay, so 33% of employees don't feel like they are reminded of the company's vision. That's why it's very important to have that DNA Monday, diba? Or DNA Friday, doesn't really matter. But at least every 7 days, we get reminded of the values and the purpose of the enterprise. Okay, I still have 30 minutes, so mahaba-haba pa to. Sorry na. I had to share that. Okay, unproductive communication. Okay, sinabi to ni Ma'am Chris kanina, no? Unproductive communication costs roughly $26,000 per employee. Diba? And if you have like 100 employees, that's 260 losses. Diba? Dollars in losses per employee kasi. So imagine, because of unproductive communication and misalignment, roughly 43% of average knowledge workers' time is wasted. ENTJ ako. So I'm an efficiency guy. I want things quick. I want things fast. I want this done yesterday. So for me, waste is masakit sa dibdib. No? Every cent counts sa akin. So for having 43%, almost half as waste, bakit natin ginagawa ito sa buhay natin? Salamat sa 17 na nandito pa. Sana mahal nyo ako, di ba? Mahal nyo pa rin ako after nito. Okay. So, 109 million is lost every 1 billion. This is on impact of misalignment. Is lost. That's roughly around 10%. Okay? Because of misalignment. So, 109 million, sa akin na lang yan. Di ba? Sayang yan. Okay? Yep. Now, this is validated from another. This is from PMI, yung first one, Project Management Institute. This is validated by IDC, another company who did the study. 100 million in every potential revenue is lost. So this is what you call reliability. In test and measurements, it's called there's validity and reliability. If validity is the testing document or the testing tool measured what is supposed to be measured. Reliability is validity is validated by other studies. Reliability is the tool measured what is supposed to measure. So this is what we call validity. Multiple studies have shown na around 10% ang nawawala because of misalignment. Yan. And this is according to McKinsey, 50% lower returns on investment. 50%. So Ay, nako, sakit. Kaya high blood ako, pasensya na talaga. Nakadalawang fissure na ako ngayong araw na to, promise. Okay. And so yeah, 50% of losses. Okay. So, ano ang mga telltale signs na may misalignment sa isang organization? Ayan. O si Chris, nag-enter na naman. Okay. Second time. Okay. So, ano ang mga telltale signs? Paano natin masasabi na merong misalignment sa ating kampanya? Okay. Simple lang naman. Pag meron kang ina-expect na mangyari, tapos hindi nangyari. Di ba? So, misalign tayo doon. Di ba? May misalignment dyan. So, now, that's very simple, okay? Let's give some 3 telltale signs para makita natin na merong misalignment. Alright? The first one is, you, as CEO, serve as a firefighter. Reactive tayo. Di ba? Parang, kung may nangyari lang, tsaka tayo gagalaw. In Seller Sub, I love this phrase sa Seller Sub. I think it was coined by BK, no, na you either let your day run you. You either run your day or let your day run you. You know, we're CEOs, kaya nga tayo nagtayo ng sarili nating kumpanya para may control tayo, di ba? kung ayaw natin, that's why we wanted to create a controlled environment, a perfect world of our creation. That's why we created our company. If not, di sana empleyado tayo, di ba? But we're not. We wanted to create a perfect world. Our company, our rules. So if I feel na I'm the responses that I make is based on the circumstances, I'm not in control. Diba? So there's a problem with that one. We don't let our circumstances dictate how we act. Diba? We're reactive, not proactive. So that's one indicator na may misalignment sa company natin, kailangan natin ayusin to. Okay. The second one is, as CEO, you feel this need to parang kailangan ko pang gawin to. Parang kailangan ko pa sabihan to. And I sense this, no? We're growing fast as a CEOInsight Asia, and I sense this. So I asked the people the multipliers, the circle multipliers, 9 of them showed up last Wednesday for an emergency meeting. I hate emergency meeting, but I had to, bite the bullet and suck it up kasi there's that constant, nakakaramdam na ako na, parang kailangan ko na sabihan ulit-ulit, may problema, no? And it's my fault, okay? It's my fault. It's always our fault. As CEOs, as leaders, fair or not, it's always our fault. So it's up to us to fix it. So I called an emergency meeting, and I got called out last meeting. Kaya ito medyo mainit yung first half lang naman, diba? Love ko kayo lahat. So yung diba, we mean business here sa CEOInsight Asia. It's a very good environment for people who want to get better. But we're not fooling around dito. Hindi tayo nagjo-joke dito. We're talking to CEOs here, creating multi-million businesses. So we don't want to waste anyone's time. Diba? So yeah, when you feel the need to micromanage, then there's misalignment. So what you do, you call and realign. Okay? And last but not the least, there's tension in the culture, there's moral problems. People don't like to work there. People don't like to go there. And I believe it was Tony Hsieh, God bless his soul. May his soul rest in peace. He's the founder of Zappos, Zapatos. He died, I believe, 2020 in a fire. And he's one of the best CEOs, and the books he wrote. I remember his story about Link Exchange. He got bought by Microsoft, yung company na ginawa niya Link Exchange. And then he's already had millions there. And he didn't want to go to work. Sabi niya. So, doon niya sa book to. You can read it. Delivering Happiness. And if you want a book, message the page. I'll send you an ebook copy. Sabi niya ron, na-realize niya na kung ako bilang CEO, ayoko nang pumasok sa kumpanya ko. Paano pa kaya yung mga tao? Diba? And that's when he decided, no, I'll just leave. So, he left. Kasi may vesting period yung yung shares niya. And he left millions on the table and started another company. Yeah, so that's the problem or the situation na nangyari that's why Zappos was created. And again, as CEO, it's our job. This is a call out for all of us. Siguro maganda rin nangyari yung mga bubus kanina, para ma-call out din tayo sa CEOInsight Asia yung mga nag-ooperate. Okay, so there. Okay, so anong causes ng misalignment? Ano ba ang mga cause? Okay? So the first one is clarity. Yeah, it's not clear kung ano ba yung gusto nating mangyari and ano ba ang gustong dapat proseso. Hindi malinaw yung purpose, hindi malinaw yung measurement of performance, hindi malinaw yung process, hindi malinaw yung kind of people we want to work with, hindi malinaw yung mga key positions, hindi malinaw yung priority. So there's a problem. That will be a cause of misalignment. The second is communication. Hindi mo na constantly communicate kung ano ba yung important. Okay? And the third one is confusion. Now, when we say, wala nga clarity, walang communication, naturally may confusion. No, when I say confusion, si leader to, tayo to. Okay? And I've worked with company where I call it the flavor of the month. Yan ang inside joke namin. Shoutout, nanonood ata nanay ko, Mama Glads. Diba? Here's your baby boy, safe and sound dito sa Bicol. Ayan, so anyway, so confusion, we call this the flavor of the month. Para kung anong maisip lang ngayong buwan na to, yun ang gagawin. No? So there's confusion. And while I was preparing this, I came across a lot of interactions. I added another C, hindi ko na lang inano rito, no? Hindi ko na lang inad dito. The fourth one is choice. Okay? People don't want to embrace the result of their actions. I just don't want to accept it. I blame other people. And that's another cause of misalignment. Ayokong umalign diba? Pagka may problema, ayokong tanggapin na ako yung may problema. Diba? Laging siya kasi or yung kasi, okay, sige. Mukhang walang salamin sa bahay natin pag ganun. Diba? Okay, so there. All right. So some notes on alignment. May time pa tayo? So far, so good. So far, please type yes if you're still with me. Please don't be mad. Sorry naman. Yeah. Thank you. Yan. Yes. Andito si Vane. Welcome, Vane. Yan. I believe kasama niya si Jerome. Hi then kay Jerome. Okay. So wala si Frank, no? Frank, if you're here, pakigalaw ang baso. Okay, so there. Okay. So first note about alignment, it does not happen by accident. Nothing is. Diba? 3 kinds of people: those who wait for things to happen, not gonna happen. People who wonder what happened, nangyari. But CEOs at CEOInsight Asia, wala yung mga wala rito, hindi umattend. Wala sa circle. These are the people who will for things to happen. Yan ang mga CEOInsight Asia circle CEOs. We will for things to happen. It doesn't happen by accident. Okay? Here's the hard truth. Alignment is hard to install. Tanggapin na natin to. But it's so easy to lose. Lalo na kung nag-hyper-growth tayo. Ang bilis niyan. Ang bilis niyang talagang hindi siya firefighting. Don't mistake firefighting from hyper-growth. Kasi sa sobrang bilis, we need to scale. Ang firefighting is parang, di ba last year pa natin problema to? Tapos last year, parang sinabi natin, 3 years ago, problema natin. Parang hindi nagbabago. Yun ang firefighting, okay? So, there. Okay, so alignment is hard to install, but it's easy to lose. The second, walang forever. Okay, walang forever. Diba? As much as I love my wife, diba? We will be parting ways temporarily here. But in the heaven, doon, other side of this earth, diba? The next side, doon may forever. Pero dito walang forever. So alignment is not forever. Kaya nga tayo, I came from Manila last week. I just arrived here in Bicol. I did my preventive maintenance services for my car, si Yuki. No? Kasi, you want to keep your tires aligned. I'm driving a very pregnant woman and a 5-year-old daughter. So I cannot afford to drive a car na misaligned. At again, it doesn't happen by, I'm hoping na ma-align to, di ba? Hintayin ko na lang ma-align to. Alignment doesn't happen by accident. Kailangan ayusin ko yun. Di ba? You won't drive a car who's not aligned. So is the same with your organization. We won't drive our organizations na hindi aligned. It's very dangerous. Okay? So alignment is not forever. We have to constantly realign on a regular basis. And last but not the least, ito, another hard truth, call out sa atin, especially me, it starts on top. So pag naguguluhan ng mga circle multipliers, guess whose fault is it? Me, it's my fault. If naguguluhan ang mga tao sa seller sub, Saan Vicky yun? Di ba? Kasalanan ni ni Christian pagka magulo sa M-Starnet. Kasalanan ni Roel yun pag magulo ng GAP. Diba? But in CEO Insights Asia, if something's not happening that's supposed to be happening, it's my fault. It happened under me, under my watch. So it's up to me to fix it. Right? So alignment starts at the top. Sa atin to, right? This is a lesson for all of us. Okay? Because here's the key, no? And for married couples, salute kay BK and Ayen for leading the couples circle natin. Okay? And we want more of that, for those who are partners na nag-establish ng business nila, join kila BK and ando si Comizen, si Eman at si Tina there, si Vane, si Jerome, they're part of that. Here's the beauty of it. In business and in life, especially in life, nothing good ever comes from a divided leadership team. Nothing. Okay? So pag mag-asawa kayo, walang magandang mangyayari pagka hindi kayo aligned, lalo na ng values. Wala, kawawa mga bata. So we do everything we can to make sure that we share the same values. So it's very important that you get your same values, whatever church it is, no? Yun lang naman kasi tayo nakakakuha ng values formation sa mga churches natin, sa spiritual communities natin, sa faith communities natin. It's also important you get the same infusion of formation in the business side. Okay, na kayo mag-asawa, you're listening to the same phantom or kung sino man, di ba? Basta importante, iisa yung pinakikinggan natin para align tayo. Right? Okay? Yes, please type yes. Best way to grow, ikaw may kasalanan ng lahat ng nangyayari. Totoo, truth, yan. Please, acknowledge yung tinipe ni BK, call out niya sa akin yan, truth, di ba? The best way to grow, it's always your fault, di ba? It's always the fault of the person in the mirror. Okay? Not the outside the window. Di ba? Okay, so alignment does not happen by accident. Alignment is not forever. And alignment starts at the top. Pwede nyo nang screenshot to para inyong ma-take home. Ayan. Para sa mga nanonood, parang ayaw na nila. Ay, di na ako join sa Zoom kasi natatawag ako. So, sa mga nanonood sa Facebook. Okay. So, here's the secret. In summary ng pinag-uusapan natin, organizational alignment leads to operational excellence. And we're creating excellent organizations here at CEO Insights Asia. Hindi tayo, this is hardcore content, hindi to pitchy lang, I feel good after the session. Pero anong nakuha mo that you can immediately apply? Nakakatawa yung nagsalita. I mean, that's not it. This is really about taking home something that you can use to build our enterprise into something excellent. Diba? If we're gonna build something, at least we'll build something excellent. Yeah? Okay, so sige, yayain natin si Sir BK. Type nyo para hindi nyo makalimutan. Organizational alignment leads to operational excellence. Paki-chat naman dyan para may engagement tayo. Okay? So, ayan, getting practical na tayo, di ba? Ayan, nag-chat si Kenji na wala pang video. Kenji, di ba? Paki-away nga alay. Ayan. Sige, so let's get practical. This is the question we're going to answer. What organizational capabilities need to be present for execution to happen in our organization? Okay. Ano ba to? Okay. Ano ba yung mga capabilities? And if you've been attending this series, it's the AAA. Diba? The alignment, the agreement, and accountability. Himay-himayin natin. Okay. Alignment is about the communication. Okay. We're constantly communicating kung ano yung important for the entire organization at the same time for that specific position. Okay, that's the challenge of the CEO na tayo lang nakakaintindi. Hindi naintindihan niya ng mga managers. Okay? Hindi yan naintindihan ng mga directors. Ang nakakaintindi lang nito ay mga CEO. Okay? Kasi that's the truth. We see everything in our organization. We respect them, we value them, we love them, but they will never understand what we're doing. Okay, because only a CEO can understand the ins and outs of a fellow CEO. Pinagdadaanan natin, di ba? Balita ko nga, may iyakan session na okay lang yun. This is a safe space, di ba? Okay lang yun, di ba? May mga this is where we can vent out our frustrations, di ba? Kaya nga nagbe-vent ako ang frustrations sa inyo. Kaya na naman. You're big boys, you're big girls, di ba? We can take it. Okay, so alignment is all about communication because if it's important, it must be repeated. If it's important, it must be repeated. And no, that's not a typo. Yes? Okay. So next, after getting alignment, because without alignment, execution won't happen. May oras pa ako. So without alignment, execution won't happen. Now, the next step is agreement. There's a conversation. Okay? So agreement, because without agreement, alignment doesn't matter. Kailangan mag-agree tayo because this is a partnership. Dito sa CEOInsight Asia, we're building companies out of partnership, not employee-employee relationship. Diba? Hindi ganun ang treatment natin. That's why we don't call our staff. We call them partners, workmates, associates. Diba? Ganun tayo. Because there's ownership if there's agreement. Mahirap yung sa gitna ng laro, pagka bulilyaso nasunog na, hindi ko naman gusto to eh. Yun, doon nagkakaturuan. Diba? So, umpisa pa lang, importanteng malinaw. Diba? Merong agreement. And last but not the least, may accountability. May collection. Diba? Kasi without accountability, nothing else matters. Kahit mag-align tayo araw-araw at mag-agree tayo araw-araw, kung di tayo nag-accountability meeting, there's no sense. Yes, I. Diba? Type yes, I pag-relate kayo sa atin. Okay? Alright. So, quick summary. Here are the questions we need to answer. In alignment, what does your company do to communicate alignment? The second is agreement. What does your company do to create commitment? Okay, there's a conversation. And last but not the least, there's accountability. There's collection. What does your company do to complete fulfillment? Diba? Ma-fulfill yung what do you do to communicate alignment around the goal? What do you do to create commitment around the goal? And what do you do to ensure you complete the fulfillment of the goal? Yes. So I will simplify this with one practice. And this is business review. Yan, naririnig niyo yan, di ba? Pinag-usapan na natin yung nakarang episode. Yes, if it's important, it must be repeated. Di ba? If it's important, it must be repeated. So business review, di ba ngayon, basketball, hindi ko alam kung sino lamang, no? Naglalaban ng Miami Heat, I think, and Celtics. So, di ba, sa basketball, sa isang buong laro, may 4 na quarter. So, imagine sa isang buong laro, walang 4 na quarter to break and discuss. Diba? First quarter, second quarter. Tsaka na tayo mag-usap pagka, third quarter na. Tsaka na tayo magplano. No. Kaya nga may mga quarter break to talk about what's going on and strategize to address what needs to be addressed and apply it in the second quarter and ganon, may halftime break pa nga. Diba? Ganon din sa isang company. Sa company, ang isang buwan may 4 na linggo. So, pagka hindi na-hit yung target ng first week, usap. Diba? O pivot tayo second week. Kung 4 na linggo, 3 linggo na doon pala nalaman, hindi pala tayo profitable. Patay. Diba? Sayang oras. So dapat regularly, every 7 days may business review. Okay, so this is the picture, review, plan, execute. A picture you can carry in your head. Okay, so review the performance of last week, plan what we're going to do this week, and then execute. Importante may execution. And then after execute, review. Okay, it's a flywheel. Keep hearing that. It's a flywheel. It's a cycle of constant growth if done right. And this is nothing new. Okay. So, may mga companies na gumagawa na nito na sa CEOInsight Asia. Ito matindi, araw-araw. O, di ba? This is Foligo, si Miss Mel of Gramworth. Daily Huddle, they call it. Si MN Starnet, the Daily Huddle. So, andyan si Regina. Nandito si Regina. Estudyante natin yan. God, I'm old. Di ba? Now, she's already working. She was my student back in grade 3 to grade 6. Di ba? So, huwag na natin pag-usapan ng mga edad. Yan. Okay. So, shout out kay Regina dyan. And then si Mika. Yan. So, every day. This is what we do sa mga executive advisory natin, no? Sa mga professional engagements natin. So, yan. Ang masaya sa sa executive advisory sa business review, may mga fun parts. So, we do sessions, we talk about the performance, and of course, meron din mga sakit ulo parts. Ayan, di ba? Yan ang common reaction ng mga CEOs natin. Mapapa-facepalm, mapapa-kunot ng noo. Buti na lang nag-join si RD rito. Nakita. Hindi ko na sinama, RD, yung picture mo na wala ka sa camera kasi nakayuko kang gano'n. Di ba? Ayan. So, there. Yeah. The critical 5%, sabi ni Ma'am Dayan, of sellers. Alright. So, there. In closing na to. And then I'll give the floor to you. So far, so good. Bati pa rin tayo. Pakisabi naman, bati tayo. If hindi pa kayo galit sa akin, buti na lang, dito na ako sa Bicol. Diba? Dito na ako aawayin. Ayan. So, galit kayo sa akin, wala nag-chat-chat. Diba? Sige. Moving on. Right? So, there. We're talking about world-class practices. You know, I spoke about this. You know, ang ano tayo here at CEOInsight Asia, we're basically elevating the practices. Ganun If you think I'm hard on everyone, it's because we all deserve it. Okay? It's as simple as that. This is a call out for all of us. Okay? So we're talking about world-class practices. You can't build a world-class institution with mediocre principles and practices. Diba? Good luck with that. So talking about world-class practices, and I remember yesterday, I went to dito sa SM City Diet. BDO went digital. No? I went there. Usually, pag magdi-deposit ako ng pera ng asawa ko, is susulat. Di ba? Gano'n susulat ka. And so on. And then yesterday when I arrived, sabi ko, kasi papel. Hindi sir, ano na kayo? Dipindot na to. Yung may screen na. And sabi ko, wow! Galing Sabi ko gano'n, paperless na. And then for a minute, sabi ko, teka, ba't ako nasusurprise? Di ba ganito na si BPI? Like, I've been doing that for BPI for quite some time. Yung paperless nila, you just go there, you put in the number, the deposit ka ba, and so on. So it shows that sobrang baba na talaga ng expectations ko, no? Na parang simpleng ganon. You're supposed to do that. You're BDO, for crying out loud. Diba? It took you over 2 years, to be able to automate yung pag ganon. I'm not saying, di ba? I mean, BDO is BDO. I love BDO. It's just that you're BDO. Diba? Ano pa kami, di ba? Kung BDO, ganyan. The point that I'm emphasizing is, kayang-kaya nating, di ba, tapatan tong mga to. Kasi, lalaki na nga nila, tapos ang bagal pa Paano pa tayo? Diba? So there, and I want to share a case study. And this is from a CEO I was talking about. And this CEO was so frustrated. Spend a lot of money, wala nangyari sa pera niya. Tapos ang sagot sa kanya is, wala Ganun. Parang, why did I pay you? And sabi niya na, ang nakakatawa pa nito, parang the person, wala nangyari. Alam mo, may bago kaming promo, ganito. Parang, really? Wala na nga kayong ginawa sa pera ko. Diba? Tapos bebentahan niyo pa ako. Tingin niyo sa akin, diba? Parang, I was telling the CEO, parang, wala. I don't want to be harsh, but wala bang utak to? Or ganun ba talaga kababa ang tingin niya sa atin na kayang utu-utuin? So, and I shared this with her and I told her na, don't lower your expectations. Raise your standards. Diba? Yun yung gusto natin. And I remember having this conversation with Paolo Hilaria Playbear, CEO. No? He was the founder CEO of Playbear. Love na love ko yan kahit hindi kami nagkita nung nandiyan ako. People, the managers back then when Playbear, they were saying na bago na si Paolo. So, dati mabait siya Ngayon, nung kasama ka, medyo naging masungit na and so on. And that's because, back then, and when you say mabait, may palpak, let it slide. Diba? But when he started to work with me, he told me, and a lot of CEOs say this, when I work with you, I feel empowered. I have no idea what that means, no? But they say, I feel empowered. I feel like I can, I have to elevate my standards. And that's the power kasi of being around people like who share the same DNA. Nag-a-align na, diba? Yung DNA natin. That's why a lot of people at CEOInsight high blood na rin. Si Chris na high blood nung Tuesday, nagulat ako. And it's because, tumataas na kasi yung standard natin Yung mga dating tanggap natin, because we're working with the people who have higher standards than us, nag-a-align na ngayon yung values natin. At hindi na natin napapansin yon. Hindi na natin napapalusot yung mga maliliit na bagay, quote and quote, right? So here's the principle I want to share with you, okay? Don't lower your expectations, raise your standards. As CEO, if you're a customer, don't lower your expectations, raise your standards. If someone is trying to buy or work with you in your business, huwag tayong papayag na hindi mag-on ng camera. Dude, that's basic decency. Diba? You're trying to buy my business, hindi ka papakita sa akin sa Zoom meeting. That's not gonna apply. X na kaagad yun, yung mga ganon. Diba? Huwag tayo, and ganun din, as CEOs, pag makikipag-usap tayo sa mga customer natin, wag naman yung diba? Wag naman yung patay yung, sorry, hindi. I'm just saying this, I'm saying for everyone, diba? Wag patay yung camera. Diba? People, nakakatawa si Steve C. Nakita kami. Steve, shout out. Sabi niya, si Fa, kung ano itsura niya doon. Ganun pala itsura sa persona. Sabi ko, isa lang kasi ang atay ko. But I have plenty of suit, by the way. Just saying that. Okay? Nakakapagod kasi. But my point is, diba, let's raise. Diba? That's turning on your camera. Okay lang dito, I'm not saying, but my point is, turning on your camera for your customer, it's it's basic decency. It's no longer, parang, do I really have to say that to a CEO? Apparently, yes. Diba? Apparently, yes. So, don't lower your expectations, raise your standards. And here is, I'm sharing one of the best nights of my professional life. And that says a lot because I've been through a lot. I've worked with different brands, a multinational firm, team building. We did team building. But last Friday, shout out kay RD. Galing na host, no? Stacy, We Trade Team, love you guys. Last Friday, we didn't know what to expect. Nag-move sila sa bagong place nila, and there were 50 plus startup founders, aspiring entrepreneurs, venture builders, investors, mostly in the e-com industry. I was sitting there, and I was looking, kahit saan ka magpunta, may Tetris tournament, yung WeTrade, they're having fun, dahil pagkain, and then dun sa kabilang side, yung mga boys nag-ML, yung mga partners nila, nandun sa kabilang kwarto, nag-uusap, para sa ayos And then pagbaba mo, nandun ako, may circle ako na doon ko nalaman na si Stephen, nag-hire ng 10 tao, tapos nagtanggal ng 10 tao in 1 week. Sorry, Stephen. So I learned a lot dun sa, kahit saang sulok ng bahay, may mastermind. And ang gaang ng feeling. And we have e-com legends there. Someone who don't really mingle with people was there. And so it was a great time, And these are the things that happen, And thank you, KVJ. And we're now cooking the next CEO meetup. And I was there and I was like saying, bakit ang saya nito? Tapos yung Tetris na nangyari sa taas, nangyari din sa parking kasi hinarangan namin yung kali. I think of this as a like frat party back in college. Diba? Yung all night yung basagan talaga, baragan talaga. But ito, mga negosyante, mga milyonaryo ito. Tapos si BK, milyonaryo, diba? Mga ganong level. No? And we're talking about how to grow our businesses and so on. No? So, we met people, wag gano'n. Billionaire sa isip pa lang, wala pa sa bulsa. Ayan, di ba? Ni-refine natin. Si Steve C yung billionaire talaga. Ayan. So, it was a great time and it was so light, it was so fun. Okay lang ba? Mag-extend akong konti lang now. I'm finalizing things. So yeah, this is the kind of ecosystem we want to build. Imagine 200 of us share the same DNA. Taas ng standard. And I today lang, I met, I chatted with a partner of ours, and he's saying na, alam mo, iba talaga pagka, I'm not gonna work with someone who's not in the ecosystem. Kasi disaster yung nangyari pag wala sa CEOInsight Asia. Because they don't get an intuition of this. Diba? If we're dealing with someone who's outside the ecosystem, medyo, mahirap. Huwag tayo magulat kapag they don't share the same DNA. They don't execute like us. Okay? Because they're not part of the CEOInsight Asia. Now, if you're part of the ecosystem, malaki ang chance that you execute well because you're constantly learning here. We're all constantly learning here. So imagine if 200, this is 50 plus. Diba? And imagine if 200 plus, 250, 300 kagaya nung sinabi ni Chris na more businesses who operate like CEOInsight Asia, share the same DNA, aligned ng DNA. And we're going to change the company, not just our companies, but the country, even the world. So yeah, that's it for me. In closing, ito ang closing quote ko. In the human side of enterprise, the math works differently. When you have the right people aligned ang DNA, nag-agree sa DNA, and we are held accountable for our DNA, 1 + 1 = 15.